Hi, my name is Matt Carroll with World Class Coaching. I'm the Academy Sports Coach 2024. I want to talk to you today about a session that I designed to work on our attacking play for my high school level teams. So in this session, we're starting with overloads and talking about developing overloads, and we want to present a high intensity session here. This was a session in which we had a number of days off until we played again. We wanted to really just set tempo hard off the bat. So we worked on a pressing slash attacking drill, talked about getting our overloads and what happens when we are 2v2. So essentially it's kind of working on both those things, and then built up to finding overloads and using switches as attack to create those overloads, or using off the ball runs to overload numbers on one side. So what we had here was we just started off. It was actually a really fun practice here. We had an early start because we had to, it was one of those days in late August when you get like 95-degree heat. We weren't able to have a later afternoon session. We had class or in-service for teachers, so we had a 6 a.m. practice. So it was still dark when we got this done. Some of the guys were it was tough for them to get going. But once we did, I think this was a really fun drill. We start with a pass, this player to this player. As soon as that ball goes, these players then must, on either side, run around the stick before they can enter the field of play. So if you are there early as the attacking player, you can provide an off-the-ball run, split the defense, and go, and create a 2v1. If you are the defensive player, you get the first, you can double. So what we had was, we talked defensively, we're looking to delay so we can get those numbers in, and we can force the ball and make the field smaller by having more numbers in a smaller part of the pitch. All right, so delaying was definitely our friend. Attacking-wise, we wanted to push the depth to create room and drag the defender one way so that we could create more space. So if this player came over here, we drag the ball here. We could then switch the field and use the pace here. So one more thing, we had small goals. Kept them fairly small. We used to use like little hoops in order to make sure that it was difficult to score and it slowed up the attack. So if you went on a breakaway, you should be able to finish with them. But it wasn't like you just, you were over here and had so much space you could score. So after that, the players that ran around the field, they then became the players that were in the middle, and the people that were in the middle went to the end of the line. We got a lot of really hard work out of this, a lot of intensity. I think the players were, up to the task because, if you jogged it, your partner's in there working for himself. So we didn't really have to make it too much of a point system or anything like that. We didn't have to really challenge them. It was guys were being competitive. They're off the race. Guys were lining it up. So the two fastest players could go against each other, see who could beat each other into the arena. And a lot of great off-the-ball finishing. We worked on 2v1s, 2v2s, 2v1s offensively and defensively. So we got a lot of different looks from a very simple drill and a lot of repetition. We set up around 3 of these for about 26 players. 3 grids of this, and that, I think maybe we cut it down to 2, just because the high work rate maybe on a normal day that the sprinting requires. The amount of reps they're getting in a 15-20 minute thing was like a lot, but we were really, again, it was early preseason. We were trying to push them. We gave a break in the middle and slowed things down a little bit, but yeah, I think you can vary the amount of people you have in each one of these grids to vary the tempo of it. But for what we were getting, I think we got a lot out of that one. So what we did was we went from there to, we went hoops here. So I put hoop here, hoop here, hoop here, hoop here, and one on each side. And we had, about 77, but I'll just put 3 defenders here, 3 attacking players here, and we went 77, 3v3, whatever it was. But we really worked the ball wide in these areas. What we really tried to focus the players on is, if you can drive and beat the opponent here and create an overload here with a pass, so we play pass from here to here. This player can't get there, it's an easy shot, right? But generally what you're going to have is, you're going to find when we move the ball, they overload this one side. So then we were looking for long switches or short switches through our 6s that allow a pivot to switch the ball and find the point of attack and open up these areas. So we found a lot of players early on were just trying to drive the ball, like, okay, I'm here, this is the closest goal, I'm going to go to this goal. So we'd have situations where, let me just leave these lines. we'd have the player dancing with the ball here. They're super close to the goal. They can see the goal, so they're like, wait, I should definitely finish here. When they were pinched so narrow that these wide players were wide open and could just easily tap in the ball, and just we didn't get them the ball because we were head down and solely focused on with the whole purpose of just going forward, go forward, go forward. So we talked about that. We talked about the space available. We walked through it, and we started to see a lot more switching the field, a lot more movement of the ball to these wide areas to find these attacks. And then on the transition, we talked about, okay, great, you push back regarding all these goals. That quick transition, if you didn't get back, because the goal was so small, if you didn't move quickly before the defense could get back, and they were able to delay or slow the ball up, it was easy for teams to get numbers back and block out the tiny goals. Because that window of opportunity you have in the counterattack or playing that pass, whatever, you see all this field, really there's only a few little spots where you can play the ball through. And those spots get tighter and tighter and close down the longer you wait and the more you allow the opposition to get back into a shape. So we look to avoid that as much as possible. We look to go quick on the counterattacks, organize the offense, and switch the ball and be patient in our attacks when the defense was in a good shape. And I think this drill helped a lot with that. From there, we went to a game called 10 ball. So we had a pole here. We set up 10 balls here. We had an attacking team. And normally we do this game, sometimes we'll just do the box out. We did the entire width so we could work on the width of the pitch. And then we had 5 yellow in the box plus a goalie. So essentially, we would just start off with an attack. You can split it wide, and then all players would go in here. If they shot, we're trying to see how many goals you scored in 10 balls. If they missed, whatever, and we go back. So it could be quick. This player could literally run up and slot a ball in here. We could play quick. It could be this player could wait and set things up and allow the players to move. But we're creating different tempos. We're creating different attacks. So the defense is getting different looks. They're getting balls over the top. They're getting through balls. They're getting playing from wide area. They're getting looking to stop the switch to the pivot. The attack is doing the exact opposite of that and trying to create attacks from all those different options. So we're getting a lot of variability, a lot of quick tempos. Basically taking one third of the field and just playing essentially the actions we would see repetitively over and over again in that part of the field. From there, we then open it up to our full-sided scrimmage. So essentially, we just took away the stick and played our full 11v11, setting up our scout team against our attacking team and all that stuff. And what we were really looking for here was to stop and discuss those situations in which we found numerical overloads. So the one thing we talked about specifically was we were playing with 2 forwards at times. So this would be their back line. So when we're playing with 2 forwards, we would have the runners here. We'd have the ball out wide. So we'd play this ball out wide. We'd have a player go forward, kind of curving the run here a little bit, trying to get down to the end line. But essentially what happened was they would get jammed up every single time because of the 1v1 over here. So what we talked about was when there's players making this run, we focused because we had so much practice with it in the 10 ball. We found that we could make this run here. This player played to the forward here. They interchanged positions where that winger came inside, and we found a lot of great attacks from this position that came from. We found that in the scrimmage. We came from the repetition of the different moves that we found while playing in the 10 ball game. So yeah, that's how we ended the session. We got a lot of good work there. I think everything kind of built upon itself, and we got to see the 1v1s and the overlaps and the 2v1s and all that kind of stuff come to fruition in our final scrimmage. So again, always when you find that, it's always a rewarding session. So one more thing, I'd love to hear in the comments section some of the things that you do to work on those specific motions. Is there anything that you try to repeat or those game actions? Because while the game is very fluid, there is specific actions that we pick up throughout the game. And is there any of those that you really hone in on and really focus on during your sessions? So one more time, my name is Matt Carroll with World Class Coaching and the Help Academy Sports Coach 2024. I hope this session finds you well.